Many of us are waiting for guaranteed outcomes before trusting God. Hi, welcome to Real Life Reflections with Ishi, where I share real experiences, real growth, and real faith. Today, we are talking about faith, obedience, movement, and what it means to trust God even when you cannot fully see where the path is leading. I believe that one of the biggest misconceptions many people have about faith is that it removes uncertainty. But if we're being honest, most of the people that we admire in scripture had to move before they had complete clarity. Take Noah, for instance. He didn't wait for it to rain before building the ark. Abraham had to leave the land that was familiar to him before he knew where God was taking him. Peter had to step out of that boat before he could walk on water. And throughout scripture, we repeatedly see that God responds to movement, not because movement earns his presence, but because obedience creates room for his direction. Scripture tells us in James 2, verse 17, that faith without works is dead. And I believe that this verse challenges a lot of us because it reminds us that faith is not just something that we say that we have. Faith reveals itself in how we respond. There are times when we think we need absolute certainty before taking the next step. We want guarantees, we want detailed instructions, we want to know exactly how everything will unfold before we obey. And if you're a type A personality like me, that feeling can be even stronger. But one of the things that I've come to realize is that faith has never ever worked that way, because if you could see the entire outcome from the beginning, it really wouldn't require you to have faith, now would it? There are moments when God only gives you enough for the next step, not the entire blueprint, not every answer, just enough movement that requires trust in Him. And I believe that this is difficult for many of us because movement can feel risky, especially if we're being required to move after disappointment or after failure, after loss, or even after prayers that seem to have gone unanswered for so long. Sometimes fear convinces us that standing still is safer, but remaining still for too long can also keep us disconnected from the very things that God is trying to lead us into. And movement does not always have to look dramatic. Movement can look like starting over. It can look like applying for the job, like setting the boundary, trying again, or simply choosing not to give up on yourself. Because small steps still count. And I believe that we underestimate how much God can do with even our smallest acts of obedience. Jesus tells us in Matthew 17, verse 20, that faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains. Even the smallest faith, like that of a mustard seed, is mighty when it is placed in the hands of our limitless God. And this is not because faith itself is large, but because the one we place our faith in is greater, far greater than anything standing before us. And one thing that I've come to learn in my own life based on my experiences is that clarity often comes while moving and not before. Sometimes you understand the purpose after obedience. Sometimes peace comes after the step. Sometimes direction becomes clearer once we stop resisting movement. And to be clear, this does not mean that we move recklessly or impulsively. That's not what I'm saying at all. Wisdom still matters, discernment still matters, prayer still matters. But eventually, there comes a time where faith requires response, because faith is never passive. Faith moves, it trusts. Faith obeys even when uncertainty is still present. And I believe that some of us are still standing right now. We're still standing in front of doors that God has already given us permission to walk through. But fear keeps asking for more confirmation. There are some things that we will only experience once we decide to move forward in faith. And that's what I want to remind you of today. You don't need to have everything figured out before trusting God. When all we have left is faith, we discover that it is all we ever truly needed. Thank you so much for joining me today. I pray that this blesses you as much as it has blessed me. And remember, faith requires movement, and God will meet you in motion. If this spoke to you, share it with someone you love. I'll see you in the next reflection.